We are live. Welcome, Hailstorm. How are you today?
Good. How are you?
Oh, we're doing good. How
Sweet.
about you? X
Just
Country Adventures.
just dandy.
Just dandy.
Chad's on.
Took 2 seconds.
I think it was 3, but geez, Chad, you're a stalker.
Oh, finally. Oh,
Hey, Claude, how's it going?
Claude, you're not first. Chad beat you to it.
Claude, did you watch the whole show last night? I just wanted to say that these guys got out of control.
No.
I think you were the first one to put on aluminum hat.
Yeah, you started it.
We were talking about UFOs and strange phenomenon in the sky, and these guys decided they needed aluminum hats.
These guys decided.
So, anybody want to know what our show topic tonight is? We're going to talk about, and the title is, do you bug out or do you stay at home? If that disaster of disasters ever happens, whether it be a power outage or a zombie apocalypse, what do you do? Can you survive it? Do you have the equipment at home to survive? Whether you're a prepper, a preppy, or a piece of poo-poo, can you do it? X Country Adventures, are you a prepper?
Oh, probably not how I should be. I
Okay.
should be more of a prepper than what I am.
All right, then let me ask you this question. If the power grid goes out and everything shuts down, how much food do you have? How long can you survive with food and water?
I'm not going to tell YouTube that.
There you
Me
go.
neither. Exactly.
Well, I'll tell you guys, I can survive as long as I want. And we're going to cover a few tricks. I was looking on the internet and saw that it. Did you read what Chad said?
Oh.
He's back on the apples kick.
He's got this thing about apples. They said it would be very easy to take out the power grid. If the power grid goes out, the amount of food that you can go to the grocery store, the amount of time you have to go to the grocery store and get some food, the grocery stores will run out in less than 2 days. 2 days. And in no time at all, your selections will be down to Spam. But the problem is, I love Spam. Spam is good eats. So you have to survive one way or another. So most of us have food stashed away. One of the big tricks that the experts tell you to do is to rotate the cans in your pantry. We all have those soups and those chilies that we like. And there are expiration dates, so you can, how would you put it? Cycle them. When you buy a new can, put it at the back. Eat the older ones. Keep it rotating. I bought these can holders. They're called first in, first out. So you put them in and they roll down like this, and then you pull them out and they just keep coming. So those are pretty handy. So one of the things you want to do is walk into your pantry and count up your food that you got stored away in soups and crackers and applesauce, Chad, and that kind of stuff. And take a look. How long can you survive with what food you have at home? Remember, the freezer's going out, the refrigerator's going out. You're not going to be able to keep that food. So what is one thing that you want to keep a lot of just in case? X Country?
Whiskey.
Oh, that's a good answer. Rob Hale or Hailstorm?
Water.
No, we're talking about food right now.
Whiskey's not food.
Yeah, it is.
I guess it makes you not hungry.
The monks in Germany used to call beer liquid bread. That's made it great. Anyway, the one thing that you want to keep a lot on hand is salt. There's a lot of cows and deer and elk out there.
Yep.
But you're only talking about one. Oh, Chad, good for you. Chad had it up there. He wants canned apples, dehydrated apples, and salt.
He needs salt for them dehydrated apples.
You need salt so that when you kill one of those cows, you'll have more than just a couple days worth of food.
Yep.
You can jerky that meat and it'll be good for a long time. So, where are we bugging out to there, X-Country?
The woods.
The woods. Rob.
Up in the South Hills.
Walmart. I'm going to Walmart. So we already got 50 views on our show last night. And see, there was, that show that we talked about, The Fourth Kind, you can get it on Amazon Prime. I'm going to watch it tonight. See how scared I can get. So, anything else? Anybody got any prepping ideas that you can do without going out of control?
One of the reasons why I said whiskey is it'd be a great bargaining tool.
Yeah.
For one.
Yeah.
I'm sure you can use it medically.
Yeah.
Yep.
And if you just want to get drunk.
Yeah. Cool. Well, the experts say that the number one killer is going to be infections. So there you go. Because being able to stay clean is going to be a hard thing to do. So one of the things I do is, those little tiny slivers of soap that you hate and you throw away, dry them out, put them in a baggie. When the baggie gets full, throw them up on a shelf somewhere. Now you got all the soap you need without buying a bunch of extra soap.
Yep.
Just don't throw away those slivers.
Good idea.
Chad says gold won't be any good during a time like that. Well, it's hard to tell. Everybody, there is one item throughout the history of time that the value has never dropped, and that's diamonds. The problem is it takes an expert to determine what the diamond is worth. So diamonds won't be no good. All the experts say that gold will probably be your only currency. Everything will be probably on a barter system, but if there is any currency, it will be gold, just like at the start of time.
I think it would take some time, like in the beginning of civilization, trying to build back up. Gold would come into play, but I think in a bug out situation, I don't think gold's going to do you any good.
Just bury it somewhere. You can go back and get it later. But when it first starts, everything's going to be bartering. And salt will probably be your number one most valuable item. Through the history of time, great civilizations determined their location. Their locations were determined by the accessibility of salt. The word salary actually came from the Romans. They used to pay their soldiers partially in salt. And that's where the word salary came from. So that tells you right there how important salt is.
Yep.
Salt, salt, salt. Get a lot of it. Best way to do it, get some mason jars. Fill them up with salt and seal them. Salt's a crystal. It'll last forever as long as you keep the water out of it. Is there something really interesting going over there, Rob?
Yeah, it's called a video that.
Oh, you're watching the video?
Kind of, yeah. I can't help it. It's there, man, and it's good.
All right. Well, that's all we have for tonight.
It's over.
I think your next show should be on apples.
Yeah, I think we ought to have an apple orchard session.
See what Chad says? So if a prune is a dehydrated plum, prune juice doesn't exist. Where you
Prune
get prune-
juice is plum juice.
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah, which Mrs. Winchester, she had prune orchards or plum orchards.
we had a couple prune trees when I was a kid in the Bay Area.
Plum trees.
Yeah, but they weren't like a regular plum.
There's a certain kind of plum that they make prunes out of.
Yeah. They're not round. They're kind of, I don't know. They're different. And they tasted like,
Yeah, that's what they do.
yeah. Oh, man, it was a hot sucker here today. 80 degrees.
It was hot here.
Yeah. 2 days ago, it was like 15 for a low, 30 something for a high, and today it was 80.
Yeah. So I was reading on the internet that the United States' power grid could easily be taken out. In fact, something like 5 or 6 years ago, there was actually a relay station that went under attack. They somebody shot it up, and they estimated 5 individuals, and it was pre-planned. There was a lot of empty brass. They were shooting at it, and hello, Brooklyn.
Hey, Brooklyn.
Hey, Brooklyn got her account back. Did she remember her password?
No.
Did Daddy find her password?
Well, I've had it. She was learning a lesson.
Yes.
Daddy's lesson.
Save your passwords or you'll lose it.
Yeah. Write them down. Put them in a book. Put them up on your shelf titled Password Book.
Mm-hmm.
Uh-huh. I got them all on my phone.
Be right back.
Where are you going?
Shut that TV off. So I quit looking that way.
Oh, well.
Okay, you got a bug out right now. What are you taking? One item.
One item, gun,
That's it?
handgun.
Just handgun?
Yeah.
Yeah, too bad you don't have any bullets.
Well, there's bullets in it. God.
I said one item.
My bug out bag.
Oh, there you go.
Huh?
Sure. It's one
Which has
item.
got a rifle, a handgun, and bullets, and food,
You got a big bug out bag.
and knife. No, it's not very big.
If it's got a rifle in it.
It's a little rifle, 22.
Oh, there you go. You know, you should always take your bug out bag with you.
Always
If it's not the big one, at least have a small one in your truck.
got one. Because knowing my luck, it would happen when I'm away from the house.
Yep. Mine goes with me wherever I go. I jump in my truck to work. When I get home, it follows me.
It's got legs.
It's a backpack.
Mine's a duffel.
But I tend to keep all my personal stuff in it that I need during the day. Like say my truck keys and that kind of stuff. So I'm always entitled to take it.
Aha.
Phone chargers and all that stuff.
Gotcha.
Usually keep a couple canned items in there as well. I think you're
Wigging out.
But yeah, I got let's see what else I got in there. Lighters, canned food, pencil and pen, keys. I got some more stuff. I just can't think of it right now. Knives.
Well, Brooklyn's on her phone, she said.
Chad says sodium chloride. Sodium is a chemical that is explosive to water and can kill you, and chlorine can kill you. Together is something your body needs.
That just sparked something in my head. Water, H2O. What does the H stand for?
Hydrogen.
It's very flammable.
Yep.
What's the O2 stand for?
Not sure.
The O. H2O. 2 parts O. Hydrogen and come on.
Oxygen.
Oxygen, which is also an accelerant. They're both flammable, correct?
Yep. Chad knows
But
it.
mixed together, you put fire out. This makes no sense. It's 1 part hydrogen, 2 parts oxygen, and they're both flammable, and yet they put fire out. If you pour water on fire, it should go boom. So, no, Brooklyn. So that makes no sense. So anyway, here we go.
Yeah.
The 4th kind on Amazon Prime. I'm watching that tonight.
I might
We
have
need
to check
to
it
get-
out.
We need to get some subscribers. Chad, you need to make friends and tell them to subscribe. We've been stuck on 18 forever. Yes, we may have 50 views on last night's already, but we need subscribers.
I think Chad watched it 5 times.
Attaboy, Chad.
Oh, that's a good one, Chad. Take matches and dip the tips in wax, and they'll stay good for a long time.
Yeah, or you can just buy the waterproof matches. They stay good forever.
I think one of the most important things that you should invest in is trade skills. So you're not dependent on big caches. You can actually get out in the woods and be able to survive with the knowledge that's in your head.
Yeah, I got a lot of knowledge in my head, but it's all worthless.
You know, can you go out in the woods and build a fire without having matches or lighters? Because eventually, you know, that stuff's going to run out.
Yes, I can.
Yep.
Well, you know, just to your audience,
It's only Chad.
Bye, Brooklyn.
Bye, Brooklyn. What are you eating? Oh, X Country's going to eat too.
What happened to Claude?
Oh, he usually checks in and says hi and then goes about his business.
Oh. There you go,
Yeah.
Chad. Primitive survival YouTube videos. Better start watching them now, because if you lose power, you won't be watching them long.
Oh, I'm tired tonight.
Yeah.
I had a rough night last night.
Why?
I pulled something in my foot. Couldn't even walk on it. But I made it
in
into
the arch?
bed.
The arch
No.
of your foot?
No. On the top right side of my left foot.
Take a ball peen hammer and hit the top left side of it, and you'll forget about the right side of it.
Yeah, well, it felt like that's what happened. I woke up this morning and it was fine.
Cool.
Must have strained a tendon or something.
Yep.
Getting old.
Yeah, old age sucks.
Not getting. Done got there.
Yeah.
So anyway. So grocery stores will shut down pretty fast. Where do you get water? Where's your first source of water?
Garden hose, but it'll be shut down.
Ain't gonna be no water in the faucets.
Nope, you need to get something to purify water.
You got 50 gallons in your hot water heater.
Yep.
I've got a 50-gallon hot water heater, so that's how much water I got.
Yep.
Yeah, you got to know your country too, because around here, there's places that the water level is only 3 feet below the surface.
Oh yeah.
Just got to boil it. How long do you got to boil it for?
12 minutes.
20 to 30 minutes.
Huh.
Some say 15. I think I'll go 20 to 30 minutes.
Yep.
Got enough water. Got all kinds of sagebrush, so got plenty of fuel.
Yep. Yeah, when I lived down south of you, 90 miles down there, we were doing some cleanup down in the town. We took one of the 35-ton haul trucks down there, and I was driving it across the dirt road, and on the third trip, the back tire sunk because the water table was only 2 feet below the surface. Nevada's got a lot of water.
That's Nevada.
Yep. Everybody says, oh, it's a desert, but they don't understand there's a lot of underground water.
Yeah. Oh, well, where the heck did X Country go?
Must have went to eat.
Oh, my tummy hurts.
That's old age.
Are you going to be able to keep talking for a little bit till I get back?
Sure.
Okay.
I'll just sing to Chad. You're in trouble now, Chad. So where do you get your nutrients? Yeah, it's trying to come out of his belly right now. That's why he had to leave. Hey, there you are.
Sorry, I got hungry.
That's fine. That's what we figured. Chad says your dad's definitely an alien. Alien.
Oh, jeez.
He was saying his belly hurt, so he left the room. So he's probably going to go get the alien out of his gut. It's a little brown one. Man.
So could you survive in the woods there, Rob?
Oh yeah. Do it for quite a while.
Could you do it with absolutely nothing?
That would be a tough one, but probably it'd just be pretty rough. And I bet I'd lose the 30 pounds I want to lose.
Right. But you got a lot of game up there.
Oh yeah.
Something I've always wanted to add to my bag is the small snares.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Yep.
Yep. It'd be, if I couldn't take any guns with me, it'd be tough, but I'd still make it. I remember as a kid trapping little rabbits and stuff, so.
Chad said he wouldn't know the bad mushrooms from the good ones.
Yeah, me either.
Well, I know in California, in the foothills, if they're pink underneath, they're edible. If they're black, they're poisonous.
Yep. I can remember as a kid in the Bay Area, I ate a mushroom, took a bite of one and almost died, dude.
Oh,
One
wow.
Rode in our yard, yeah.
Oh, just went out of the yard.
Yeah. As a kid, I didn't know no better. I was like 8. And the worst part of it was I didn't tell my parents. I just went into my room and laid down.
Yeah, I think the ones that grow wild in the foothills are different from the ones that grow here in the yards.
Yeah. Yep.
Chad said that's called a bad
Yeah,
trip.
it wasn't that kind of trip, Chad. It wasn't shrooms. Believe me, there was no laughing.
But yeah, my vision of bugging out would be carrying lightly or light, get into the woods and setting up a small camp. Getting your shelter, make sure you got your water, and then start working on food.
Yep. Exactly.
Snaring, making some kind of a trap or snare, or even fishing. Those are all, I think, ways of not using a lot of energy.
Yep. And if you go up ways and read what Chad wrote about fishing, it says there's people that catch fish with a small twig on their fishing pole. The fish swallow it, and when you pull on the line, it turns sideways and snags in their mouth.
Really?
Yeah, that's pretty interesting. Something good to know right there.
Yeah, Chad was saying a good machete is one item you definitely need.
Yep.
Agreed. Machete could be used in many different ways.
Oh, yeah. From cutting stuff for shelter to protecting you to food and everything.
Right.
So,
Yeah, Chad says you
primitive fishing.
have to do that.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to check that out.
Or you just get a buddy like Chad to go along with you as long as you can supply him apples.
Yeah. Well, man, we'd have to pack too many apples to keep him happy.
Yeah, we go plant a couple apple trees for him.
Yep. Yeah, in a couple years he'll have apples.
But yeah, I think if one is serious of ever looking at bugging out, definitely take some training, like martial arts.
Yep.
There's a lot of survivalist type training that you can go out and take. There's I think some like wilderness type medical training you can also take that would probably help.
Yep.
What other kind of trainings out there? Just
The survival training.
the bushcrafting. There's a lot of that stuff on YouTube. How to make campfires and rubbing sticks together, using Coke bottles to get the mirror off the sun, or amplify the sun to.
You can do that with a bottle of water.
Right.
They
Plastic bottled water.
yeah, they've had cars start on fire because people leave a bottle of water in their car and the sun hits it just right and it started fires there.
Right. Yeah. Fishing would be a good sport to get into to prepare. Chad probably knows everything about that.
Yeah, he says he'll watch us do it and tell us if we're doing it right or not. Yeah.
Right.
You're going to go hungry, dude. We're not giving you our food.
Transportation, I would say, if you've got horses in your area, knowing actually how to ride a horse.
Yep.
You don't have to feed
Oh,
it
I don't want to
gas.
ride horses again.
Right.
Oh, man.
But that's something that can live out in the woods with you, and you don't have to go in town and search for fuel, because come down to a bug out situation, it's going to be other people that are. I think it's going to be your worst threat.
Yeah, exactly. You want to stay somewhere where you can watch and make sure nobody's coming up on you.
And a horse is the most ultimate 4x4 out there, right?
Yep, they can go anywhere, dude. Pretty much.
Go anywhere.
Yeah.
Yeah, they'll actually help you in hunting game too, because
Oh, yeah.
when we lived out the ranch and rode horses in the foothills, you were able to ride right up to the deer that are out there because the horse's scent overpowers yours,
Yep.
and the deer they see a four-legged animal and they don't feel threatened by it.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I see a lot of benefit in it.
Yep. Chad missed you. He doesn't like talking to me. Oh, wait, never mind. He said you were an alien.
I am.
All right, I'm gonna scarf my food down here real quick, so I'm not having to eat on camera.
Okay,
Be
bye.
right back.
See ya.
Boy, I'm not feeling too good right now.
You all right?
Yeah.
Yeah, we can make this a short one. Come back on your next days off. You go back in tomorrow night, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Working nights.
And then
How many?
do your day shifts, and then we're going hunting, dude.
Yeah, I got to work, what, 2 more stretches?
Yep.
And then we're elk hunting.
Yeah.
Nice. So anyway, Chad's got his boat so he can go fishing.
Yep.
Get a lot of fish.
He wants to come stay with us and watch us do stuff, and he'll tell us if we're doing it wrong. Told him he was going to starve.
I've been doing this stuff a long time. I don't think I need somebody to tell me how.
He just wants to be with you.
He just wants to go play with us. Well, you'll have to come and visit us when we go to Lake Wales.
Yeah, Chad.
So now the problem is if we're bugging out or having a hard time because of an EM pulse, none of our vehicles, none of our pickups are going to work.
That's why right before you come back, we're talking about having a horse.
Oh, all you got to do is just get a pickup that was manufactured before, was it 75, I think?
79? Yeah, one of them. I don't think my 78 had any kind of computer stuff in it. But I can't remember, dude. That's been a long time ago.
Yeah, I was watching that stupid prepper show one time. I think it was Brian. Brian told me to watch it. Yeah, these guys. They had a brand new Dodge pickup with the trailer, and they were all seeing how fast they could get out. Not if it's an EM pulse, man, or a solar flare.
Yeah. An old
Which-
Willys would be good to have.
Oh, I wish I still had my 52.
Yep. Wish I had my dad's. His was a 57, I think. 56. Somewhere back there. That
You know,
thing climb anything.
yeah, and if they wouldn't turn around and go up and backwards.
Yep. Exactly. It was just weird getting in there and seeing all the stick shifts out of the floor. Your low range, your high range, your 4-speed tranny, your they were crazy. But
Yeah. The only thing I didn't like about the 52 Willys was the flathead Ford. The spark plugs were recessed. And if you hit a puddle, they'd fill up with water and the Jeep would die. Then you had to get the water out of there and set and wait till it dried before it'd run.
yeah, my dad put a V8 in his out of a Chrysler, I think. Like a 383 or something. I don't, man, that was so many years ago. I don't
Oh, well. I had spaghetti tonight with mushrooms and olives. It was really good.
Chad says that the new patrol cars have shields for impulses.
Well, I don't know about that. Because when I was the undersheriff, we just bid our cars out, put the specs down, and they're just street cars with bigger alternators
Yeah.
to handle the electronics in it. But nothing was ever said about any type of EM shields.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've been out of it for a while, so they might be doing
20
it now.
years. You've been out like 20 years, haven't you?
Yeah.
So who knows what they got now? And Battle Mountain probably still has the same. All the small towns like where I'm at and stuff, I bet they don't do nothing different.
Well, when we used to put the bids out, we could you put what you want in the vehicle. The vehicle has to meet this and has to meet that.
Yeah.
We could pretty much write the requirements so that we could get what car we wanted. And they all do that. So, if back then the most popular car was the Ford.
Crown Victorian, wasn't it?
Yeah. Yep.
Now here where I'm at, it's Ford.
Yeah. Across the nation, the number one cop car now is the Charger.
Yeah. They got Chargers here, but they got a lot of SUVs.
Yeah, that's pretty much all they got here now is SUVs.
Yep.
But we're all dirt roads, man.
Dirt roads and snow country.
Yeah.
There's a couple Chargers here.
I miss my Charger.
Yeah. You never drove it.
Yeah, that's true. I drove it a little bit. What is going on with the green screens today?
Chad asks, how long will canned foods last? I hear dented cans seep chemicals inside.
Dented cans do something. I don't remember exactly what it does, but it's not good. That's why I never take dented cans. But the expiration date, so-called expiration date on the can is not really an expiration date. It's just they don't guarantee the flavor after that date. But dented cans are bad. I don't remember why. I remember reading that. And another thing is if you don't have a can opener, I saw a guy do this. He put some water on his sidewalk, flipped the can down and went, and in no time at all, it opened that can.
Yep.
So,
I've seen that. I've seen a video of that.
yup.
Chad. No, I don't think it tastes like strawberries, Chad.
Your applesauce would taste like mush,
Yeah. But it's still edible.
but it's still apples.
It might ferment, and you can have some wine, apple cider wine.
Yeah.
So it looks like in a dented can, what actually is dangerous is if the dent is near the seam.
Yeah.
If it's just a dent on the side of the can, there's no risk. But if the seam,
Breaking the seal.
right,
Okay.
and you'll have to be careful because if some cans, I guess, are double sealed on the top and the bottom. But if there is no seam at the bottom and there's a dent, you should be okay.
Yeah.
I just don't buy whatever it is if it's in a dented can. I get one that's not dented.
They say it's cheaper. You can get them cheaper if they're dented.
Really? What do
Yep.
you bring it to the cashier's attention?
They might have a separate display of dented items.
Oh, I got to take my hammer to the store with me.
That's what I was gonna say.
Lay them out on the ground. Whack, 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 whack. I say $49.50.
Yeah.
There's one for you, Hobbit. How long will an MRE last?
Well, as long as it says on the side. They've changed. They don't last as long as they used to anymore because they all used to be freeze dried
Yeah.
when they first came out. Now they shoot. X Country Adventures should be able to tell you that. He eats those all the time. But now they've got so many different ones that you heat up and they're just sealed, and
They're damn good.
there's some good ones out there.
You got milkshakes.
Where was I? I was in a Sportsman's or something, and they had a ice cream sandwich that was freeze dried or whatever. It's the grossest thing I've ever tasted. It was nasty. I was wondering, okay, how's this going to work? And it did not taste like an ice cream sandwich.
I remember the sea rations, though.
Yep.
You can get MREs, Chet, anywhere. They've got them online. It's not just a military thing anymore. Where I used to get them back home was the Forest Service used to fight fires, and then they would bury all of their equipment that they didn't use. Sleeping bags, MREs, shovels, Pulaskis, everything. They'd just bury them. And if you were up in the hills helping them with water tenders and stuff, you knew where they were buried.
Yep.
Oh, they're expensive, Chad. Shadow, look up how much does a MRE pack cost now? $20?
On Amazon, you can get a whole box for about $100.
How many in a box?
Oh, I think there's what? I want to say 12, but let me look.
12, so $8.
Yeah,
No,
there's 12.
we're not kidding you.
Yeah, so you can buy a single one for $17.
And Chad, they have an apple pork meat one just for you.
So they're $8.33 a piece.
46 something for 52 servings of this one. Wise Company Energy Food Supply.
Yeah, you got to be careful. Some of them are not real military MREs because those come with all kinds of different stuff in them.
That one wasn't. Here's a box for like what Cross Country said, $98. The date on it's 2018,
Yeah, they don't last that long.
and it's good to 2021.
A couple years. Hell, that's what your canned foods are going lasting now. If you want to put some things away, Walmart, most of the Walmarts carry freeze-dried food, and it lasts 15 years. You can get soups, vegetables, fruits. What I used to do, and I still do it sometimes, but I used to do it regularly. Every time I went to Walmart, I'd buy one can. And now I've got a whole bunch of stashed away. Yay!
So here's one for you.
Okay.
So what would be the different reasons to bug out?
Zombie apocalypse.
Rob?
War of the Worlds, man. If everybody went to war,
Keep them coming. What else you guys got?
Red Dawn type.
Disease. Famine.
Gangs.
Yeah, overran like what was the name of the movie?
Red Dawn.
Red Dawn.
Yep. Good movie. The original.
The remake was pretty good too.
Yeah, I still like the original better because it was in the mountains. Because that's where I'd head.
Chad says martial law.
Yeah, those are all big incidents, but also look at your smaller incidents as well. So, are you in an area that's prone to earthquakes?
Nope.
An
You are.
an area that is prone to wildfires,
Yep.
flooding.
I don't think I could flood here. I think that canyon's got to fill up first.
But there are some people that would
Yeah.
be in those type areas.
I know that what they're saying about Yosemite or Yellowstone,
Right.
if that goes, I've got 15 minutes where I'm at
Right.
if that were to blow.
I've got 25.
Yeah.
Then we've got hurricanes, not for us, but other people, other situations. Maybe tornadoes on a smaller level.
Yeah.
What else? Snowed in.
That
You
I
can't
get.
bug out if you're snowed in.
Can you? Do you have the equipment to? I mean, if you're in an area that has prone to have pretty crazy snowstorms, do you have a snowmobile? Do you have snowshoes?
I would probably just stay there.
Yep.
Do you know
Wonder
how
how sand tires would do in the snow.
to? Right.
Well, you know they do make the tracks,
Yep.
and they say they're pretty easy to put on.
Yeah. Don't take too long.
Nuke aftermath.
Yep. Radiation lasts a long time.
Where I'm at is probably one of the safest places for a nuclear attack. So come and visit me.
So you want some tips for bugging out in a vehicle?
Okay.
Tip number 1, be prepared to abandon your vehicle.
There you go. In other words, how would you do that? Your supplies consolidated.
Into a
So all you
backpack.
have to
Probably in a
do is
bag.
grab your backpack and go. Right?
Yep. Right.
Okay.
Don't
Duffel bag.
overpack your bug out bag.
Yeah. You got to carry it.
And then you're going to keep one bug out bag in your vehicle.
Yeah.
Mhm.
One in your house.
Yeah. Let's see what else. You better be ready for repairs. So take your tools
Always take my tools.
and spare parts. You know, my truck always keep spare belts in the back,
Yep.
and those spare belts are the old ones that I took off when I replaced my new ones.
Yeah.
Just because you replace something doesn't mean you throw it away. I think I just saw Bigfoot in Rob's window.
It looked like it, huh?
Yeah.
Something's out there.
Map out back roads. So make sure you've got maps going to your bug out location. Know your area well, or the area that you're going to.
I do.
Yep. I know around here really good now.
Chad saw it too there, Rob.
Uh-oh.
And
Right up there.
they say get a cover for your vehicle.
Camel?
No, well, it can be, but if you're going to be more in a highly populated area, if you got to sleep, you put the cover over your vehicle, and then you tuck it in when you close the door. And you're less likely to get robbed or mugged if someone cannot see you inside the car sleeping.
Oh, I would
That-
kind of think having a cover over it would draw attention to it.
Well, I think you're taking the attention away of the guy sleeping in the car,
Yeah.
which leaves an opportunity for someone to do something.
Well,
And
I just have to say I don't agree with that one.
that was a tip picked up from a homeless guy.
Huh?
crazy.
Keep communication devices in the car. So if you got ham radios, two-way radios of any sorts, EMP, that probably won't help you much.
Yeah, unless you have it in a Faraday cage.
Right. Let's see. Be ready with fuel. Never let your gas tank go below half full.
Okay, here's a pet peeve I have with The Walking Dead. Those guys are always out there with the siphon hose. Have they never heard of pumps? Siphon hoses? Like I got, the one where you go like this and they're always sucking on a hose.
Mhm.
God, those guys, that show ticks me off. I don't watch it.
Stuck on a hose. That one you got works really good. I've got that one I just got that works off a D battery. I haven't tried it yet, so I don't know how well, but it's supposed to be pretty good.
How many gallons a minute?
No, I don't know. I'd have to go read it. I got it for filling my paramotor.
What's that? Tick, tick, tick.
Bigfoot.
Okay. What's next?
Don't rely on your GPS.
Oh, yeah.
There's quite a few roads in the mountains that if you follow your GPS, it's going to take you down the wrong route. There's
A couple years ago, there's an older couple from Canada coming down, and they used their GPS, and it took them from over by Wild Horse. It was going to bring them over to 93, which is by me, and it took them on a road that got them buried in the snow.
Right.
And they both died.
A lot of this road data was given like back in the day. So those roads back in the day might have been fine, but for an update, they may just be some motorcycle trail now.
Yeah, and what this happened is it was a dirt road that's maintained in the summertime, but in the wintertime it snowed in, and they got stuck in their 2-wheel drive van and out in the middle of nowhere because they were on a dirt road that nobody traveled in the wintertime. But the GPS told them it was a good road to cut across.
And like your grandpa said, their ex-country, GPSs take all the fun out of getting lost.
Yeah.
Another tip is be first on the road.
Ha!
Don't wait.
Go now.
Okay, see ya.
Because what happens if you wait?
Yeah,
Traffic jam.
Yep. And everybody fighting.
And then in your 4-wheel drive vehicles, hopefully that's what you have.
Yep.
Always keep fence cutting pliers inside the cab.
Got him.
Yep.
Because you can always cross fields, and if you need to, by just simply cutting a few wires pretty quickly. And then you can get away from traffic. If you're blocked up on the freeway with traffic, most freeways have fences that parallel them. So you just get your handy dandy pliers out, cut yourself a path, and
Yeehaw!
divert.
Divert.
Yeah.
So yes, be nice to have a 4-wheel drive that has a high clearance.
Yep.
We all have that.
Yeah. Speaking of that, cross country, with that big lift kit in yours, does it affect on the way the trailer pulls?
Nope.
Okay.
Everybody that's followed me says the truck and the trailer seem like they were built together because it just pulls right behind, nice and true.
Cool.
And in the pickup, I don't get any kind of sway. It just sometimes I don't even realize the trailer's behind me, other than the power of going up hills and whatnot, and braking, of course.
Yeah. And that's my main problem with the half ton that I got is that, like, coming home from our trip, it was kind of windy out there, and the wind just makes it sway bad.
Well, so we can just go back and tighten our sway bar just a little bit. It takes that out.
Yeah. Well, I've got a sway bar, but I tighten it up and I don't know. I guess I can go tighter.
You might have been a little heavy on your rear axle, or
Yeah.
behind your axle could do that too.
Yeah. And once I drop it down to 55, it straightens right out. But it just bugs me, and I think it's mainly because it's a half ton, just not really built for that big trailer I got. Oh well, it still pulls it.
Well, we got different kind of hitches than you got too.
Yeah, yeah. I've got an anti-sway, and you guys have a what is it?
Distribution,
Yeah, distribution.
and that basically just makes the two become one.
Yeah.
Which eliminates a lot of sway.
Yeah, and that's what mine's supposed to do, but I really shouldn't have listened to them and had them sold me that one.
I've had friends that told me that that distribution actually saved their lives because they were going down the freeway. There was an accident out in front of them and they had to swerve. And they ended up doing a full 360 with the truck and trailer and still kept everything upright.
Huh, cool.
If they didn't have that, the trailer would have flipped over and probably them as well.
Yeah. Yeah, Chad, that's pretty good too. He says, what about shoes and extra clothes for bug out?
Right.
'Cause
And it
the
all
socks
depends
get wet.
on the area you're going to as well, right? You know, is it desert? Is it, you know, what time of the seasons too?
Yep.
What part of the seasons? Winter, summer. So some tips for just bugging out. See if you guys agree. Let's see. Before you bug out, make sure that you want to bug out.
Yeah.
I guess it depends on the situation, right?
The hardest part of a zombie apocalypse is pretending I'm not excited.
Yeah.
Bug out ahead of everybody else.
Yes.
Definitely.
Guess it would, to me, it would kind of depend on the situation though, right? You know, maybe there's some kind of chemical outbreak. Let everybody else go out there and see if the area is clear.
Make them your canary, huh?
Right.
Yes, sir.
Have a designated bug out vehicle. Makes
Yeah,
sense.
because you're going to have your bug out stuff in it.
Yep.
And then have a designated bug out location. Now, is it a cabin or is it just like a little camp in the woods, like a little deer hunting camp?
Yeah, I think that's kind of tough to do because you don't know what direction you're going to have to bug out.
Yep.
Right.
If there's something coming from the north and you got to go south or vice versa, it's just, I know of about 5 or 6 places where I can get in where nobody goes.
Now, as a prepper, you should know of at least 4 different locations, right? North, south,
Right.
east, and west.
Right.
And I guess it kind of depends on what kind of disaster that you're more prone to as well. You know, if you're in, say, San Francisco and you got a lot of earthquakes, you know, which direction is your quickest way out of town? Maybe you should have a bug out location that direction.
Or can you even go that direction?
Yeah, because of the
Right.
bridges. I mean,
Right.
San Francisco, you got 2 bridges, or you got to drive clear down South Bay and back up to get out to the east.
And that goes on to our next one. Says have multiple routes for getting out to your bug out location.
There you go.
Carry some supplies with you.
Yeah.
Of course, in your bug out bag. What kind of supplies are we carrying?
Dried, canned.
Canned food. Yeah. What about knives? Hatchet?
In the pickup,
Yep.
already there.
Maybe
Now, in the old days, and a lot of people should do this, is store a lot of Jell-O, dried packs of Jell-O, not the sugar-free kind, but the sugar kind. Back in Vietnam, the SEALs used to carry packs of Jell-O, and that's what they ate when they were out in the field a lot, when they had to go light, because it's full of sugar, full of energy, and they can take a mouthful of it and not go crunch, crunch, crunch. They can just suck on Jell-O all day.
Right.
So you want something with calories.
Now I
Get you a little
know. Now
boost.
I got to go have a talk with my mom because I used to get yelled at when I did that with Jell-O when I was a kid.
You weren't a SEAL. You had no reason to.
It was good.
You were a fat ass kid that needed to lose weight.
No, I was a skinny ass kid. I wasn't fat.
So anyway, take things with carbs and calories. That's what you need, are the calories. It does you no good to eat a rabbit that you shot if you're starving to death, because it takes more energy to digest that rabbit than what you would get from it. So you would last longer not eating the rabbit than eating the rabbit. So you got to know your foods. Rabbit doesn't have any fat. It's all protein.
Yep.
So take your calories, take your carbs.
And then what about some duct tape or Gorilla tape?
Oh God, you got to have duct tape.
Lightweight and can use it
Fixes
in many
anything.
different situations.
There
100
was
mile an hour
a-
tape.
There was an incident in Alaska, upper Alaska, where the guy landed his plane on the river bed on the side of the river and hiked in to take some stuff in to some guy that needed stuff to come back, and a bear had clawed his Super Cub. He spent a few minutes, duct taped his airplane back together, and flew home.
Nice.
The rotors on the Hueys in Vietnam were made of fibrous stuff, kind of like fiberglass, and they get a chip and you could peel it all the way down. So as soon as they get a chip, they'd wrap it with duct tape so that it wouldn't peel off. And you see all those old Hueys with duct tape all over them going, oh, crap. I got to get on one of them.
Yeah.
So
Let's
anyway,
see. What about
duct
a
tape.
medical kit?
Got to have a medical kit.
Yep. Got
Super
a really
glue.
good one.
Super glue.
Super glue. Yeah.
Super glue was invented by the medical people trying to come up with a good cut sealer instead of stitches or instead of staples. You notice how when you're using super glue to glue something together, how it sticks to your fingers better than anything?
Yep.
Just squeeze that cut together and put a little bit of super glue on it. Now, there is a trick if you're by yourself. You run the super glue on the edge of your cut like that, and then put the super glue down and then squeeze your cut together.
Yeah.
Soon
Now,
as-
if it's bleeding bad, it won't work. Remember Steve up hunting, his kid come up to the cabin one time and he punctured his hand right here really deep, and it was bleeding really bad, and you couldn't get the super glue to stick with the blood there.
Yeah.
You tried to wipe it off and hit it, and it kept just opening back up until we got the bleeding to slow down.
So you want super glue. You do want to take sutures. You do want to pack sutures because you can't do everything with super glue. A lot of gauze and something sterilized. Bring your Crown Royal.
Yeah. If you can't stop the bleeding, at least you can get drunk.
Chad says chapstick is a good stop
Could be.
to
Plug it
stop
up.
bleeding.
Yeah.
Never heard of that, but a lot of my compression bandages that are in my jump kit are sanitary napkins, and the women will know what those are. Kotex,
Yep.
because they absorb and they're thick. You can put one on and duct tape it. Always carry duct tape in your medical bag. Always carry a little, you know, those honey sticks that you get at California at the little health stores, those stupid little stores. They're like a straw that seals them both in. It's got honey in them. It carries a bunch of those for people, for diabetics going into a diabetic coma, because there is one natural food that never goes bad. And what is that?
Honey.
Honey. They have dug up in the Romans sealed pots with honey that is still edible after thousands of years. There's a lot of things in a medical bag that you don't have to go to the medical catalogs and buy really expensive stuff. Like you could spend 150 to 200 for a suction device to suck out, you know, if somebody has a chest wound or something, you gotta, or you have somebody puking and you got to get the shit out of their mouth. So you pay $150, $200 for a suction device, or you can go to Walmart and buy a turkey baster.
Yep.
Squeeze the ball, stick it in there. Just don't use it for Thanksgiving after you've used it out of your medical bag.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of things that you can get at the store. I guess you'd call them medical hacks that doesn't cost you a fortune, because if it's got medical use written on the package, you're paying a lot of money.
Yep. It's like when you need parts for your boat, just because it says marine, it costs twice as much.
Yeah. But you can come up with a lot of things. Put in that bag, the first thing I'd put in is a bunch of Kotex, a bunch of duct tape, super glue. I would buy some Sam splints, though. They are very, very handy to have. Sam splints are, you can fold them around, but once you bend them, they become rigid. You roll them up into a roll. When you straighten them out, you bend them side to side, they become rigid. They come in handy for a lot of different things. But anyway, just use your imagination when you're putting together your jump bag. Next.
How about a rope?
Got
Get a
one.
rope.
Need a rope.
Got one. Got more than one.
About AM FM radio, one of the rechargeable ones.
Don't have one of those. Should have one of those, though. And the reason why?
News.
Yeah, they might be telling you where you can go.
Chad wants a hammock. Keep saying
I
we
can't
got
sleep in a hammock. Can't sleep on my back.
Me neither.
About toilet paper.
Oh, I love toilet paper. Yeah.
Well,
Toilet paper.
you know, sanitation for one. You know, it's not going to last you forever, but in the initial couple days of trying to get to your bug out location, it could come in handy.
Yeah.
And also, if you've got friends or family that's trailing behind you, it's a way of identifying your path of travel, and then it will eventually degrade, so others won't
Decompose.
follow your tracks.
Yeah, I got a couple rolls in my pickup just in case. The Romans used to use the sheep's skin with the wool still on it, tacked on the end of a stick. They'd clean themselves with that and then wash it later. Yuck.
I better get some sheep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How about a sleeping bag?
Well, I got a couple in the house. I don't carry them in my pickup.
Probably should.
I carry a blanket and a tarp and a survival blanket in my pickup under the back
Alright.
seat.
Having some bottled water might be a good idea too.
Yeah, the problem is that bottled water don't last that long.
Yeah, but
Get some cans.
it's the nice thing about the bottle is like what Rob and I were talking about earlier. It can be a fire starter. Once the water is consumed, the bottle is lightweight, and you can reuse the bottle. So if you've had 2 or 3 bottles of water in your truck and you find another water hole, you can fill those back up and venture onward.
Yeah, that's one of the things that always ticked me off in the old westerns. Oh, it's gone.
Right.
Throw the canteen.
So the trick of having the items in your bug out bag, each item should be able to accomplish at least 2 different tasks.
Agreed. Huh.
Yep. Chad wants an iron skillet in his.
I got 2.
Yep.
That's going to be some weight to carry.
Pretty heavy.
Yeah.
Heavy metal.
Yeah. In the bug out bag, you can get the really lightweight mess kits at any Army Navy surplus store.
Yep.
Well, you guys want to talk about bugging in?
Bugging in.
Yeah,
Staying home.
Instead of bugging out, you're bugging in.
Oh, I've got that covered.
You want to talk about it?
Sure, let's go.
What you got? What's your plan?
Lock the doors. Lots of ammunition. If I'm staying, I've got enough totes where I divide my food up and I go bury it at night. So that if I do get overrun, they're not taking all my food. They're taking a little bit of my food.
Yeah.
So you keep about a week's worth here, a week's worth there, a week's worth there. And once a week, you go dig up your next week's worth of food. Water is easy. All you have to do is boil it. I got the pots and the pans.
Is your water system in your town? If the power goes down, are you going to have water, or is it on gravity fed?
You're going to have water for a while because we have a tower.
Yep.
But as soon as that tower's empty, then you're done. So one of the first things you want to do is every container that you can get your hands on, you fill up with water. And I've pretty well covered that because I've got 20 gallons, 4 or 5 gallon water cans. And then I have probably 20 gallon jugs. What I did is when I buy a gallon of spring water or drinking water, because I drink a lot of water and I won't drink out of the faucet, I just put those on a rope through the handle and they're up in the rafters. So those come down and get filled right away. Fill the bathtub. Might sound a little gross, but that's water. The hot water heater's got 50 gallons.
Yep.
Water, water, water.
They said seeds are good to have, especially if you're going to be there in long term.
Yeah, I agree.
And make sure those are heirloom varieties that are easy to grow. That kale, spinach, radishes, carrots, broccoli, garlic, tomatoes, peppers, peas, beans. And
Rob's gonna die. He doesn't like vegetables.
Yeah. And they said,
Radishes and carrots I love, and tomatoes.
it says wise to have livestock for like I have at my house, chickens. So you got the eggs and the meat.
Yep.
Goats for milk, pigs, and cows if you have the space.
Have you tasted goat's milk?
Oh yeah,
It is disgusting.
used to drink it when I was a kid.
Yeah, you're weird.
Supposed to be really good for you though.
Yeah, it is supposed to be really good for you, but it's disgusting.
Yep.
In this country, I could go out 5 minutes to have me a cow.
Yep.
Do you have any rice in your house?
I've got lots of rice. I've got 3-gallon jugs of rice.
Said for 30 days, a man would need about 50 pounds of rice.
Wow.
If that's all you had.
Yep.
I don't know what those 3 gallons would weigh. I guess I should go weigh them, but that's a lot of rice. But you get that stuff and you take it out of the containers and you put it in glass, mason jars, big gallon jugs. I use those a lot. Yeah, Chad says PVC pipes in the ground with pistols in it, ammo, whatever else you need. They can be a good storage container.
Yep.
So another good one to talk about is how to prepare to cook your food. You know, do the people out there have camp stoves?
Well, I don't know. You're going to have to, store up a lot of fuel, which I've got quite a bit, but everywhere you look in this country, there's sagebrush, and sagebrush burns really well.
We've cooked a lot of chorizos and brats and sagebrush
Oh, yeah.
back when we were always four-wheeling.
Got to be careful of the smoke, though, depending on your situation.
Yep.
Because not only visually, but folks can smell it as well.
Smells like Frank is cooking again.
So another good option, too, is a portable solar oven.
I know somebody's got one of those.
Uh-huh. And I tell you what, they work pretty damn good.
Really?
Yep.
Will it boil water?
I've cooked rice in, what was it, Brooklyn? 2 hours. I think we cooked like two cups of rice. Huh? 2.5 hours.
I just saw,
Yeah.
I think it was on Facebook, a thermos. It's about that big around. And you put the water in it, or you put the cocoa in it, or you put the coffee in it, and then you twist it, and the sides open up, and they're like solar panels, like your solar oven. And you set it there. You set it there, and in no time at all, it heats whatever liquid you got inside the thermos.
Hmm.
The guy poured out, and his coffee was steaming hot. I should have looked to see how much that cost, but that's not real practical for bugging out or bugging in. Well, bugging in, I guess would be okay, but it's a lot of weight. I'm sure that thing ain't light. But anyway, there you go.
So we talked about some ideas of containing water. You got pools and ponds, depending on where you live, of course. Rainwater, are you able to have a way of collecting water off the roof? If you don't, you might want to think about it. Have a rain barrel underneath your drain spouts.
Yeah. Do you have a propane bottle filler?
You do, don't you?
Yeah.
Chad was just talking about that.
Yeah, I saw that. All those little ones. I've got the little goober to fill them up off of the big bottles. So you keep your stove going that way. Problem is where did I put it?
In one of your rooms.
Yeah, is it in room 1, 2, or 3?
Or is it in with the jumping jack stuff?
Oh, sheesh. Thanks a lot.
That's what you bought it for.
Yeah.
Another thing to look at too is how are you going to dispose of your trash?
Bury it or burn it.
You know,
The biggest problem you're going to have in situations that if something ever goes down is, like I said earlier, is that infection. You're not going to be the cleanest person on the face of this earth.
Nope.
Keep those little slivers of soap. There's plenty of water around. You can always find water. But you need that soap. You need that alcohol. You need that whatever, so you don't get an infection and die. Because we as a society are weak to infections because we get antibiotics if we stub our toe. In the old days, we used to put the kids in their diapers out in the front yard, and they ate grass and they ate dirt and they played in the mud, and they became immune to a lot of things.
Yep.
Because they build up their body build up defenses against it. Now, geez, if somebody has a baby, you got to wash your entire body with that hand sanitizer. It's just like, oh, come on.
Yep. And when back in the old days when we got a scratch, they put iodine on it, and that crap burned.
Oh, crap. Or what was the other one that foamed?
Peroxide.
Peroxide.
I liked that one. I hated the iodine.
That peroxide saved a dog's life. Dog got into the bear poison. I poured a jug of peroxide down his throat.
Huh.
And it puked and it puked and it puked and it
Yeah.
puked.
Yep.
But it lived.
Huh.
I don't know it was because of that, but it did live.
Yeah. I've got peroxide in my bedroom or bathroom.
I got good old everyday ordinary alcohol.
Yeah.
You get a cut with alcohol, just take the cap off of the bottle and go like this. Ow! Boy, I got this light on. I should really clean my keyboard. It's a lot of dust. Oh, well. Shadow's
Yep.
typing on this phone really fast. Look at that thumb go.
yeah, amazing, isn't it?
Yeah. That was rude.
Yes.
SOS.
Yep. Shit on a stick.
3 dots, 3 dashes, 3 dots. Everybody should know that one. Because when you're aiming your little mirror at the airplane, you can do Morse code. Do, 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 do. So, what else? I got a headache. I just ordered my boots from work.
Work boots.
Yeah, they give us $200 a year for boots.
Yep.
So I found a pair that was $98 and I bought 2. After taxes, I had to pay $4.
Oh my God.
Yeah, it almost broke me.
Yeah, right.
That makes a total of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I think I got 8 or 9 boxes of boots in the closet. Because the boots that I bought 7 years ago are really good boots. And they're still hanging in there.
Yeah.
You don't wear boots out when you're sitting in a cab all day.
No. Nope.
This one guy was mouthing, I got whites. Whites are the best boot. They'll last forever. I said, they last forever because you're sitting in a cab, dummy.
Yeah. White. Yeah, we'll spend all that big bucks on them.
Yeah, no kidding. Well, I can send them away and have new tops put on them. I says, yeah. And for that price, I could buy 2 more pairs of boots.
Yeah, that'll last me for another 20 years.
Yeah. It's all like the guy driving the 1-ton diesel that don't have anything to pull.
Yeah.
What are you doing with the 1-ton diesel, you dummy?
Yep. Got to be cool like everybody else.
Yeah.
Chip them so they smoke really bad so you can make people choke.
New guy with the 1-ton dually diesel. The only thing he ever hauled in that sucker was golf clubs to the golf course on the weekends.
Yeah.
So
Your $100 oil change. $100 to fill it up.
yeah. Well, I'm getting tired.
Yeah, we should call it.
We've been on for an hour and a half.
Yep.
What do you think, Chad?
You tired, Chad? Oh, wait. He's not that old. He's not tired yet.
We don't know how old.
He won't say, but he looks like he's in his 30s to me on them one pictures. That'd be my guess. Early 30s.
We can just go to his channel, see what it says again.
He's like, that's not really me.
Well, what you're seeing here is not really me.
Yeah.
Used to be me, but I've changed.
Yeah. I'm only 17.
Yeah. Okay.
Good
Well,
math.
looks like X-Country Adventures had to run away.
Yep. He got mad at us.
Yeah.
Sorry.
There he is.
He's
Business.
back. We were just talking about closing shop.
Okay.
So,
Chad has nothing more to say.
he's mad at us now.
Yeah.
Oh,
He's got to take us fishing.
yeah.
Got to take us tarpon fishing.
That would be fun.
Oh, tarpon are cool. So anyway, well, let's round this up. Any last words there, X-Country Adventures? Uh-oh. I just heard some Morse
That was
code.
weird.
Yeah.
Bug out bag. Always have a bug out bag.
All right. How about you, Rob Hill?
Be prepared.
Be prepared.
Be ready.
Yeah. All right, everybody. Don't think that you have to pay hundreds and thousands of dollars for stuff. Save your slivers of soap. Dry them out. Put them in a baggie. Water. If you need the water, you've got 50 gallons in your hot water heater. You don't have to buy cans and cans of water. You don't even have to buy survival foods. Just look in your pantry. If you like eating canned chili, buy a bunch of canned chili. If you like soups, buy a bunch of soups. Keep rotating them. Look at you. Go do us a favor. Walk into your pantry as soon as you're done here and count up how many days you could survive with the food in your pantry. Then take action from there. This is Talk Over a Beer. We'll see you next time. See ya.
Later.
Bye.